partners once again. A little business between friends, and always just a step ahead of the law. Always just a step ahead of the law.
Some old guys did this. They would hire people, and right before harvest, they'd fire them.
Right.
And so he was notorious for doing that. So he got in a fight with his worker, and he fired him. The guy was living in a little shack. So Mitch just got this brand new truck, and it was a Datsun 4x4. So he parks it behind the shack, comes around. Me and Roger are there, and he's like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" And the guy put a padlock on his door. That son of a bitch! Everybody had guns back then, so he pulls his gun and he shoots the lock like 3 times, bam, 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 and kicks open the door. And I'm like, "What?" I look over. And he shot right through the house and went right through his new truck and the radiator.
It went right through the house.
Right through the house, right into his new truck. And he looked like Yosemite Sam, and he acted. He didn't stand right, fracking, jumping on his hat.
Yeah, Yosemite Samming.
He had the big mustache like Yosemite Sam. He was fucking cowboy hat. Because of this, he'd always fire these guys. They hated him. Everyone he ever worked for. They caught him in town one time, and there was a shootout between them. They were shooting at him. He was shooting at them, but they caught all of them, but nobody would say anything. So they had to let him go. So he went home. This guy came and went to his house, my house where I live, afterwards, and knocked on the door. Mitch came to the door and he just shot him with a rock salt and a shotgun. And
in the gut.
gut.
Yeah, he fucking gut shot the guy, dude, and left him there.
And so Mitch didn't know that it was rock salt, and then it's dissolving in the wound.
Right.
And Roger, he called on the CB.
Yeah.
So Roger goes, "Just finish me off."
Yeah, just finish. Yeah, that's what he told me. Finish me off.
It was probably burning.
Yeah, just
the rock salt.
That son of a bitch got me.
Yeah.
Just finish me off.
So finish me off.
Give me a shot of whiskey and finish me off.
So Roger took him to town. and he healed up from that, but then he broke his leg like 2 years later, and he was stubborn. He wouldn't take any medicine.
God, it was in fact like gangrene or something, right?
He was broken, and he'd sleep down by the fire, and he wouldn't take his blood thinning medicine, and he got a blood clot. So he got up in the middle of the night to take a piss and made it like halfway to the bathroom, and boom. And then Roger found him like 2 days later.
But he was the one, Mitch was the one that brought the seed.
Pretty much started, yeah.
He started it.
Yeah, he was a painter from San Francisco and a cowboy from Arizona or something.
Yeah.
A union painter. And then he moved there. That's right. He was in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
He married a Japanese woman.
Mm-hmm.
And brought her back to the States. San Francisco, they were fine, but they broke up. And he moved to the Gap, and he started before anyone.
Yeah.
And he built his place and started it, and started growing.
Yeah. He had the seed. He was the first one.
Somehow got. They were European. They were Amsterdam seeds.
Yeah. And
they were good.
Yeah. No, he brought. It was the what did he have? Like the orange big hash he brought, and
I forget all those old signs.
The one lived on like all the way through Durf's reign.
Right.
Like we were still getting crosses from that Mitch stuff all the way until like the early 90s.
That Holland yellow.
Yeah.
That stuff was
amazing. Dad and Uncle Sam used to call it yellow cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he was the first one.